Hey, what's up? I'm Joel Madden, and this is Artist Friendly. On this episode, I'm talking with singer-songwriter Petey about his new album, USA, and his tour, and a bunch of other stuff. Let's go.
Bad times, I don't wanna have bad.
I was very excited that you were coming to do the show.
Right on. Me too. I was excited to be here.
That's
great.
awesome to hear.
Yeah.
Because I've been following you for probably like 2 years.
Nice.
And I would have never thought like to even reach out and like ask if you would do the show, but I've been getting bolder and more adventurous in my
Sure.
asks.
Yeah.
Because I've learned, I think if you don't ask, you'll never know.
Yeah. Totally.
Right.
No, it's great. It's great.
And I love your music.
Oh, thank you, dude.
But
Likewise.
it's interesting because you do comedy, and I love it, and I love your music, and I can't tell which one I like more.
Yeah.
Because you're really good at both, and they both are different from each other.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. It's
So
fun.
I'm stoked you're here.
Right on, man. I'm stoked to be here. Actually, were you represented at ICM at some point?
Yeah. Well, I was there for a
Because I
little
used
bit.
to see you walk. I worked in the mailroom.
Really?
For like 3.5 years. I was just like a full-time mailroom staff employee.
Wow.
So I used to deliver packages up on the floor, but I had to just like have sort of like a mouse like presence up there. But I would see you walking around there all the time, and I always get really stoked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so that was probably like.
Did we ever say hi?
I don't think so. I was definitely taught not to like.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't
interact
say
with-
hi to anyone. Agencies are funny.
Oh, they're hysterical. Yeah.
I don't group all agents and agencies together,
Totally. Yeah.
but experience is experience.
Uh-huh.
And I'm friends with some amazing agents.
Yeah.
And I think they stand out amongst a group of, otherwise sometimes agents can really be like, they can suck.
Yeah, sociopaths. Yeah.
And then they'd say, well, I suck because I'm getting my client more money. And you're like, no, you're not.
Right,
Because
yeah.
I'm in management now for 10 years.
Yeah.
And we help artists make money, and we don't suck.
Yeah. No, it was totally a fun. I mean, it was a wild place to be for 3.5 years. It just like my only responsibility was to deliver packages. So I had a whole lot of free time just like within that ecosystem, and
Yeah.
was just sort of like observing a lot for a long
It's a
time.
hell of a place to kind of learn.
Oh, for sure. Just kind of like about human nature.
Human
Not
nature.
even necessarily the business, but just about how people work when they're sort of like confined to like a set of I don't know, just rules, like unwritten
Rules,
Yeah.
pressure,
money.
benchmark goal posts that are always constantly put in front of them.
Yeah.
Stress.
Yeah.
Competitive toxicity.
Yeah.
There's some of that. Not to say everyone there is because like I said, that's the music business. There's really good people, but
Yeah.
then there's plenty of clowns in the music business that
For
like
sure.
that's why it's almost weird, because you're like, how anyone could be anyone they want to be, which is a great thing. But also there's no degree you have to get. So you can, people can come into the music business and say anything.
Yeah.
The right artists will believe them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But it also makes all the good people, because I feel like I've just met so many great people in the music business that stand out
Yeah.
because they are just,
Yeah, I made
hardworking.
lifelong friends there, and I would have
Yeah.
never thought, like in the first month or whatever, I was like, I'm not going to meet anyone that I'm going to be actually friends with here, and now I have a bunch, which is great.
yeah. There's some great people there at all the agencies. It's like kind of like the way it is.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite thing that you do, or is it all important to you?
It's all important to me. I guess I don't know if like important is the right word, but like I've been able to like create a life for myself where I could like wake up and be like, all right, well, what are we working on today? We're gonna like do a sketch. I'm gonna write a song. We're gonna record a song. We're gonna do like a, longer form video. We're gonna film a music video. Like all that to me, just like is wrapped up into the same thing, and I kind of just like do wherever like the money is in that exact moment. So it's just like if we're getting paid for something, I'm gonna do that. But I feel like I'm using the same parts of my brain to do it all.
Right. It's
So,
creative.
Yeah, totally. So I feel super lucky and to like live that life. But
So do I.
yeah, right on. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't really think like too differently about any of them. It's kind of just like, all right, how are we gonna get paid this month or this week, and we'll do what we can.
You are so good at making things. Like your videos from the first time I saw them, and I've followed just like as a consumer. Just it's just one of those little things I like, so it's in my feed, right?
Yeah.
So comedy intimidates me.
Yeah.
Because I've known a lot of comedians over the years, living here for the last 20 years, and comedians are really interesting people. They're really smart, like too sharp. I always get intimidated when I'm around them because I actually think comedians to me, they feel, I've always found them to be like the most intellectual people that I've met.
Yeah.
And then the intellectual people that are supposed to be intellectual that get treated like intellects all over wherever they go because maybe they wrote a book or maybe they did something.
Yeah.
Find them less intellectual and sharp than the comedians that I know all feel to me like the smartest people. I think to play dumb, you have to be really smart.
I have trouble identifying like as a comedian, I think, because like I feel like so much of like the comedy world is like thinking on your feet, and, like improv and like being quick and being sharp, and I'm none of those things. I mean, a lot of which is funny that the videos ended up working out, but like everything I do in terms of like is very premeditated and like written out. Like I don't go into any like video making situation without having all the lines like completely dialed.
Right.
And I like say them as is.
Yeah.
I don't like to switch stuff up. Same with like songwriting sessions. I don't do that. Like I don't like write with other people and be like, let's write another song. Like everything is like done before I go in. Even before I have a conversation with a stranger, I like plan out what I'm gonna say beforehand. So like I'm not like an improv guy, and that's like I feel like that's such a smart comedian thing. So because that's like sort of my vibe, I've like never really like felt like I fit in with the comedy community. It's just so happened to work out that I just like wrote a sketch for TikTok that I thought no one would see, and like 2 million people saw it, and I kept writing it, and like 2 million people kept seeing like all of them.
Yeah, well, everyone said yes.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Yeah, for sure.
This is one of the reasons I like having these conversations, because there's a lot of people listening that can probably identify. I just think that just because you're not an improv specialist, you likely have the muscle. You're using it in a way that you probably feel more comfortable using it.
Totally.
And that's a practice. But also, like, people have different styles. So you may be more of a writer than a performer.
Totally.
Or you may be more of a, like we all have but it's definitely comedy. 100%. Because the first time I saw it, that was exactly how I identified it as, oh, this made me laugh. It's like bite-sized. It's quick. It feels good. It's not mean, which is also another thing for me. Is like I always like things strike me when they can be funny without being mean.
Yeah, I wonder sometimes if that's just because. Yeah, I don't think I write like a lot of mean things, but if I make fun of the characters in the sketches a lot, but they're all me.
But they're you.
Yeah, so it's like I feel like
it's
I can
like
get away
self-deprecating.
With a lot.
Yeah. And then when I heard your music, because I really liked California off the last record.
Sure, yeah.
And I was kind of struck by how different those two things are. And then your touring is also really good.
Yeah.
Like you have strong touring.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How long have you been touring?
I just finished the first leg of my second tour. So 2 years.
Doing really well.
It's doing great. Yeah. Definitely like selling tickets, which feels awesome.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's unique. It's not often you see someone that can do these multiple things that they work together, but they are not. I don't group them together. When I see you on stage, I see an artist who's like got great songs.
Yeah, I think that it's like I've described it as it's not like a Venn diagram, right? It's more like it's like a circle within another circle.
Right.
So it's like
they cross a little bit.
No, it's like because I haven't met anyone who like knows the music that didn't know I do TikToks or videos.
Right. So they all know the TikTok.
Right. Yeah. Right. So if you take like a big circle that's like the TikTok stuff, and then if you take a smaller but much more concentrated circle and put it inside the bigger one, then that's sort of the music fandom.
Yeah.
So I think I'm
That makes
lucky.
sense.
You know, my stuff is not streaming like to the moon, you know, but everyone who like the conversion on the people who listen to my songs and go see it live is like crazy high. It's like really high. And I think it's because they're involved with like both worlds. So it's like they want to hear the songs, but they also want to see the guy that they see in the videos, and it becomes like kind of like I don't know. I just have had a really easy time selling tickets. I think comparatively to like how many like albums I'm selling or whatnot, and it's like it's a blessing. It's awesome.
Yeah, I actually think that their touring artists stream less but sell more tickets. Streaming artists stream more but sell less tickets.
For sure.
That's what I've seen.
Yeah.
And it feels like you're building like an in real life, like it's almost like a way for people who, but also one of the things that I think that you do well in your in the videos you make, I don't want to say content, it is content, but
Yeah, whatever you want.
the sketches you do,
Yeah.
is they do feel like you do feel like a character.
Mm-hmm.
So you wonder what the real guy is like.
Yeah.
So there is an invitation almost to like, I wouldn't mind like hanging out with him. And then you listen to the music and it's really good.
Yeah.
So if you were like making shitty music,
Mm-hmm.
you may have like a kitschy in real life experimental event and people might come once or twice.
Yeah.
But to build touring audience, you have to have good music and you have to be good live. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Yeah.
It's the one thing I know with MDDN when we work with bands. One of the questions is how are they live, and are they good songwriters? Like you have to have a generative part of you that can do it again and make songs, and it can't just be a fluke. I think it needs to be a real artist, right?
Yeah. Totally.
And then live, there's got to be something there live that's like, and everything I've seen of yours live. And the music, it just stands up.
It's fun. Yeah. I mean, it's fun. It feels good. I feel like the live show is better than my records, which is cool.
That's cool.
Partially because I hire really good guys to play the songs, and on the records, it's just me. So they're
Yeah, you play everything.
yeah,
That's cool.
So I have better musicians than myself playing live, which it just like makes it so much fun. And we're all buddies, and we have so much fun together. And like from what I've seen, like every crowd in every city, it's like they're all singing like all the words, which is really, really cool. That it makes it so much easier, at least from a like stage fright perspective. It's just like, oh damn, okay, you guys are doing like a lot of the legwork for me. This is sick. And that's been the pretty normal experience. I just feel so lucky. It's great.
Were you a big like emo kid growing up?
Totally. Yeah.
I can hear it.
Yeah, big time. My first concert that I went to without parents was Motion City Soundtrack.
Oh wow, how old were you?
I was probably 13. It was when they put out Commit This to Memory. I saw them at the Vic Theater in Chicago.
13-year-olds were so much cooler.
Yeah.
Back then.
My parents were pretty good about letting me just like take the L into the city, and we could go. And I don't know.
I don't know if you could do that these days as a 13-year-old.
Maybe. I don't have a gauge on like what it's like to. I don't know anyone with kids in Chicago. I know people with kids here. And it's a completely different vibe to like raise kids in LA versus Chicago, I think.
Yeah, LA is different.
At least like the north side of Chicago being like contained to that with like within the train system and stuff, and like bopping back and forth between the suburbs and stuff. It was pretty easy.
Pretty safe.
It seemed like
just the occasional bully.
Yeah.
Right.
It seemed like no big deal, but that was a fun show. Fall Out Boy is from where I'm from.
Yeah.
So yeah, a ton of that. Blink-182, of course.
Do you know those guys, Fall Out Boy?
No.
Okay.
No.
All you Chicago people like all know each other somehow.
Yeah.
Alkaline Trio from Chicago.
Big, huge Alkaline Trio guy. But I'm 30. I just turned 32.
Oh, wow.
I'm a bit like younger than those guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
32. That's young, dude.
I guess, yeah.
It's young enough to still feel young, but old enough to be old.
For sure.
So you're definitely
I certainly
not...
don't want to be younger. Like I'm definitely like loving life more with each passing year, which feels great.
That's how I feel. I'm 44 and I don't want to be any other age.
No.
And when I'm 45, I hope I feel the same way.
Yeah. Hope so.